All right. Ladies and gents, apologies for the speed up. But we have a blast from the past here in terms of the map. This is a map I've talked about a little bit recently on the channel. We've got migration action. This is in the tournament called Warlords, which should be a really good... we should have a really good time with this today. And I don't know my upload schedule or my plans. Oh, God. Leslie just took that sheep, but I don't know my exact plans with this event. But we're hoping that we can have a good time, and there should be plenty of content coming to YouTube later in the future. The map is migration, and now there's a pause. And honestly, I feel like maybe Villese had an issue. Yep, there we go, and we're back in. We have the Italians for Villese, which is a very common water civilization. I think one of the very best for this particular map. And then we have the Dravidians for ACCM. So a non-mirror matchup, which is what you can expect these days with the way the draftings all work. And we'll get to see the Dravidians on water and see how they perform. Now, a couple things about migration. So you've got no boars, right? And then you have a tiny little island to work with. Eventually, you want to move out to the rest of the map. But if you don't have boars, you definitely want to rely on fish. And, you know, Italians having the cheaper fishing ships, obviously that's going to be easy enough for them. And then Dravidians, they should be able to make it happen as well. Now, there is sometimes an approach on this map, which can be seen more greedy than your common approach, which is just to go like one dock. Oh, God, we've got another pause, which is to go one dock and then go up to Feudal Age. And that approach is to go for a second dock. And I actually believe, again, I don't know what issues they're having at the moment, but I think ACCM is going to be going for that second dock approach. And what's nice about the Dravidians is you get pop space from that. So you get, it's like a dock and a house, which always helps you cut some corners with that type of a build. Now, with that approach, right, I'm just going to talk about a bunch of things before the game actually starts running again. My apologies. With that approach, it's actually okay if you lose a couple fishing ships. The whole goal is to just get as much food as possible while you can. Remember, there's no boars here. So, you know, if you send a few extra villagers to wood and make a few extra fishing ships, obviously you don't want to lose full water control, but it is good at times to have that extra food income as you're going to be racing to Castle Age later. Might as well use this time to set the best of 5 on, do group stage. Should be fine. Best of 5 group stage. Does that look fine? I think it does. Perfect. All right. All right, well, that's everything I had to say. I mean, eventually you're going to want to take the middle control, but honestly, so much of this does revolve around water, because if you lose water, you're not going to be able to freely go to the middle, and then you're going to have so much of your economy surrounded here. It definitely looks like more of a classic migration. I don't know how many adjustments were made to this, but how cramped the islands are definitely seems to be... It's reminding me of like the AOC days, the Age of Conquerors days. And like this is a big issue. Like these two wood lines being rangeable by galleys, I guess all of it's rangeable by galleys, I guess, if you think about it, but like being able to be surrounded there could be a really big problem. Hello. What's up, Paul? What's up, Doof? Yeah, I agree that the, okay, well, all right, there goes my awesome intro. I agree that the logo looks really cool.
Hello.
Dude, I gave the most in-depth introduction to migration, and then they disconnected. Isn't that the worst?
I gave a pretty in-depth one too. I even like went back to the old migration scripts, how the scripts have improved,
same.
and like all that stuff, and you know, chunky island and close knit, and like how Dravidians are going to be used, and then nothing.
So we're just going to have the laziest intro ever now.
Wasted effort, bro. Wasted effort.
We are officially into game number 1. There was a restore. Yeah, so it's paused. So now we don't know if we should actually give our proper introductions again, because we don't want to do it a second time.
Bro, okay, so I have to tell you, but in the qualifiers, I forget who it was. There was 2 players playing, and one of them had a full pond behind his island, completely secured with like 4 deep fish in it.
Did they actually dock it?
No, they didn't realize what was happening. They were Lithuanians, and they didn't realize what was happening, and they resigned after they lost water and Feudal on the front.
Well, that's a classic migration thing, right? You can see a couple shorefish in the back for ACCM here. But yeah, Warlords is a 9-villager start, which definitely changed things. You don't need to have the 6 on food necessarily. You can see both players have, well, actually, mainly ACCM hasn't had as much on food. And it's Dravidians for ACCM, a newer water civilization, and then we've got Italians for Villese, which is more established. And these guys are perfectly, what's the word here? They are as far apart as they could possibly be on migration, whereas the earlier generation was not the case. So, cool stuff.
Yeah, and this middle island is incredibly chunky. It is incredibly chunky.
Huge.
Like, there are places you can sit here that can't be ranged from the water. So if it goes late, that will mean something. Usually, though, migration ends pretty early, as whoever wins the water usually has a huge advantage.
Yeah.
And the other guy taps out. The way that players play this, they rarely go for that early transport ship to sneak to the middle, especially good players, because they know they're losing out on so much if they lose the deep fish access.
Yeah, you'll lose fish, but also the ability to transport any future villagers to the middle.
Yeah.
But, you know, I hope people remember what the other generation was like, because this is so different now, right? So it really changed things. And the players don't really have a way of knowing, but if you're in the corner, I would have to test it a bunch, but I'm pretty sure you could assume that your opponent would be in the corner. Whereas with the previous generation, you just kind of never know.
No, I think you can, because the ones I've seen like this have always generated with an island shape like this and both players in the corner. Also, interesting to point out that Villese, now that they have these corner generations, he has even if he loses water, has a stone, has a gold that he can access without being ranged from water. And even that gold on the left side of his TC you can kind of take at the same time.
This is like the I sit special. You can have like 40 to 45 villagers in here on every resource you want. All right, well, dock techs are cheaper for the Italians. Fishing ships are now cheaper as well, and going to the next stage is cheaper. So those are the advantages there. ACCM took advantage of the fact that you get a +5 pop space for every dock. So he actually docked before his lumber camp. That was unique. I think the fishing ships also have a carry bonus for Dravidians, and also the villagers on shorefish do too. Not that the villagers on shorefish is going to make a difference.
Isn't that Bengalis that they have the carry bonus?
No, because it's going up to 20 now. This one fishing ship. It's past 20 now. I think it normally stops at 15.
Bengalis have the ship regen. Gajaras have the garrison and dock, and Dravidians have the
Yeah, but like that.
I was watching the wrong player when I was counting the food. Okay.
The carry capacity is not so helpful on the first fish, but once you're going further out, I think that's where the carry capacity can really make a difference. Or it could actually be really painful, because your ships will stay out there longer and they could be sniped. So it's just more food you lose, I guess.
Yeah, it feels worse when you lose 20 food instead of 15.
Yep. All right, well, double lumber camp for ACCM, and he's gone up really quick. So again, to reference the first one they had to restart, he was going to go 2 docks there. He was going to play really passive, which I think is more suited for this generation, actually. But he's going for it. He will get plus 200 wood when he gets to the next stage, so that's a free dock and then some. And I'm guessing we're going to see galleys, but I still think the jury's out on that. I think some people still prefer to go fires.
Yeah, it's kind of... It really depends, I feel like. On the map like this, I don't think you can go fires. Or if you're going fires, you're playing an FC type of strategy. You're not playing a full feudal water defense. Because if you go full fire galleys, you're just going to get super burned.
Yeah,
it takes you a minute to get across the map, and your opponent can have 4 or 5 galleys ready for you by the time you do.
Yeah, the thing about galleys is just the fact they have to be in one spot. Yeah. And usually they're going to be splitting up their navies on opposite sides to try and find the opponent as fast as possible. We do have a mill already for Villese, which I really like, actually, and ACCM's going to do the same. But the reason I like that is because the second he doesn't feel like he has to make navy, he can just drop a market. Yeah, and that's so important for a fast castle.
I think ACCM's just going to go for a few fires here, maybe even mix in galleys of his own. Fires are just to provide a little bit of pressure, keep his opponent away, and he might actually go for a market with that extra wood from the Dravidians, because he's making a mill with 1 villager right now.
Yeah, it's such a difficult map to play. There we go. Because you feel the need to invest so heavily into water, but it's so far away. And so oftentimes it's just like not even worth it to leave at times. Just better to just stay at home until you're in Castle Age. And yeah, Market Blacksmith for Villese. Look at his food count. I mean, he's going to be killing it here.
ACCM has some resources to play with as well when his market goes up. And he's already got 2 fire galleys and 2 more on the way.
Yeah.
Villese just has his fire galleys in defense. And we can see ACCM splitting his up already. Sending another one around to the side. These are obviously just trying to hold Villese on his side of the map. And ACCM actually hits the market first. Although Villese, without having to sell his stone, has similar resources. Really good build from him.
2 fires versus 1 in the south, so ACCM will have to pull back. I'm sure he's going to have more at home, so then Villese will have to pull back. But yeah, Villese is already on the way up, adding the 3rd dock, and that was like, I feel like this is as clean as it gets for a migration game for the Finn.
Yep. He's using his Civ bonuses very well.
Yep.
I think, especially the cheaper castle each time. ACCM is going to be up soon. He's already going for that transport ship, and he added 2 more fish. So he's pretty confident he's going to be able to defend here, just getting his food in, and then going across really early to that middle area.
Yeah, I mean, it is nice for scouting, and then another thing you can do, sometimes players will just transport 1 scout and then 1 Vill, and then you can get a dock around where ACCM has his fires right now. And if you do that, ACCM lost a fire on the other side, by the way, a bit sloppy, but that is like really hard for the opponent to push through, because it blocks off some of the position, your patrols go immediately into the dock, and it just adds to a choke point where demos will be strong.
ACCM still adding fish.
I like it.
Still adding fish. Wow. He knows that Villese is going to be super campy over on this side.
You don't want to add too many, but a round of fish to get up to 9, especially when you're Dravidians, feels good to me. Yeah, but then the downside, of course, is you fall behind it on water control.
He's boosting his score, dude. That's what he's doing. Villese is super nervous about that score right now.
Do you auto scout in the middle? There's the 2nd dock from ACCM. I would auto scout.
Of course. Like you do 3 waypoints and then you auto scout.
Yeah.
Just discover the important things.
I think he did already.
Like, discovering that lion would be nice.
Yeah.
You know, the one right next to your villager with no loom.
He insta auto scouted, man. It's already auto scouting. Yeah. That's perfect. One of the rare moments, I think, where players will prioritize auto scout at a high level on migration here.
I honestly think, like, scout a few areas on the middle and then try and sneak your scout over to his island with a transport ship. No, he has
How is that going to happen?
You know he has no loom, dude. You can get there. I guarantee you can get there. The lion is attacking the villager now. This is tragic.
Oh, true.
Absolutely tragic. ACCM might lose this Vill if he's not careful.
He's going to lose it. There's no way. It's too late.
Oh, no.
Can't even quick wall it now. Because
what are you talking about, bro? This is ACCM here. He can do whatever he wants to.
Dang. I mean, I said that because, at least for me, the animals jump through those 2 palisades for one final hit. So I don't know what he did differently there.
MBL, me, like that lion can't figure out that.
Oh god. Oh god. The fires though. The fires. They're close, and still 40 seconds away from getting the upgrades is ACCM. Is dropping the monastery though. That's good.
Lost a villager on the other side. He's got 3 fire galleys now working away, so he has the defense, and he's got demos behind Tristan. He's going to be able to defend this.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, at the top, he's going to be pushing Villese back over there. And he's got a fire going. He's got 2 fires going into Villese's fish. Like, this is a really good opening here for ACCM. Look at the numbers right now. Very even.
Yeah, game could not be closer in terms of the stats, right? They're pretty much all doing the same thing, just with different bonuses as play here. And then Villese in the north.
That scout from Villese, he just landed, and the villager is still 1 HP.
I think the monk will end up healing it after it snags the relic, so that's good. But 4 villagers for Villese sometimes can mean a town center. And, whoa, ACCM wants to go for a forward dock. Dude, heal up your villager first.
Bro, this is aggressive.
Oh, man. And now, okay, so he should notice that there's a full HP scout from Villese there. But obviously, it's hard to notice these things as we see more fires in the north. That's an opportunity for ACCM to use a demo, but he's distracted. Still could land a demo, of course, but... here we go! Ooh, that's a nice demo. Works out. Another demo in the south.
Demo from Villese coming in. Fire galleys, or fire ships rather, coming in. Villese going for a TC in the center. And ACCM, I mean, he's got loom for the 1 HP villager now. which is something. And Villese can't see it
He
with that
can't see it.
transport ship.
That
He
that
just missed it.
is epic, man. Like right now, Villese is doing everything right. He was super patient in the south. He didn't waste any demos. He knew he'd get the clear, and he's on the verge of being able to clear up some fishing ships in both areas. But if a couple fire ships trickle into that food eco there, he doesn't have any farms, and he might not be able to pull off the Imperial Age that he wants.
It's very hard, I think, for Villese to push into where ACCM's fish eco is, though. He's kind of defending in the north, and then every time you run past these docks, you run the risk of running into demos, and this is exactly what he's running into right now. It's a good demo from It's a great demo from ACCM. Holy.
It's also the most annoying feeling when you're in Villese's shoes, because you've done everything right, and you still can't make any progress here.
Yep.
Demo in the north as well, Dave.
He saves
Villager
the
gets
Villager
walled.
again. Bro, he saves it again.
Did it get hit? Was it healed up at all?
No, it's not. And the wall is going down.
Oh, well, now it's dead. Okay. Well, we got excited.
Yeah.
The scout also went down for ACCM, it's worth pointing out, as his fire ship in the middle is going to snipe the transport ship, I think. So that's awkward.
And ACCM has monks here, too, which, provided he can kill that scout, can help out a lot with that forward dock, converting fire ships. Could be really, really nice.
I just keep looking at the food economy right now. Yeah, what a close game. This is really sick. Wild to me, ACCM he has 0 villagers on berries. Like, you feel like 1 or 2 would add up over time.
Doesn't really need it, though.
You want to get in, but
500 wood, you know?
Well, the extra fishing ships have paid off, right? Because I don't think anyone's lost fishing ships yet.
Yep.
So it's been 9 versus 6. And also having 2 relics is nice.
About to be 3 relics. Okay. Really, really nice.
Yeah, true.
There's also a 4th relic not far away. Villese now going for a monk. So he might actually snag that. Good demo from ACCM forward. And he wipes up the Navy in the south, too. Okay, so Italians versus Thericidai.
I don't think he can go Thericidai. I think it's just... honestly, I think Fast Fire decides so much of this game. But maybe there's a world, like, if it goes super late, like we saw in Red Bull, I think you can mix them in combination with, like, Fast Fires and Galleons. But I guess you could make an argument. You can just switch the Galleon upgrade, though, with Dravidians.
Yep.
And just make the Thericidai. So maybe that's the meta.
I mean, you don't have to get the Galleon. You don't have to spend resources on the Galleon upgrade, right?
Just make the ships.
Just go directly into those.
Yep.
ACCM is going to grab that 4th relic, but in the north, we got Villese coming in. Demo coming out from ACCM. Needs to save his fishing ships. Not much fish left in that area, so maybe shift the focus over to the south again. Demo!
Good avoid there from Villese.
Yeah, good pullback.
Yeah. Also, the monk did grab relic number 4 in the middle for ACCM, so that's going to help out. But the resources are definitely disappearing for both guys. They were floating food, but now they've got 2 TCs producing villagers. Now farming eco is going to be important.
ACCM has 11 villagers queued, so think about the amount of res invested there.
That's true.
Now 9 villagers.
I feel like both players are building up for a castle as well. Nice patience from ACCM. So a castle in the middle, and then Imperial Age would be sick here. And another dock for ACCM in the north. Man, he's done such a good job. He's had fewer units on water for the most part, but his timing on the demos has been perfect.
Yep. Double scout for Villese in the center here. That could help if they're both going for a castle here.
Yeah, yeah.
Kill the monks, stall out the castle with his own monk. Maybe. I mean, ACCM doesn't have any other military there.
I'm not sure also I like the
university
third town
for ACCM, so he's probably going to go up soon.
I feel like, the 3rd town center just sinks you deeper into Castle Age.
Yep.
And also, it's not even well placed. I feel like you'd want to have it more to the left.
Look at the resources right now, dude. Look at the resources. Those scouts are sinking you deeper into Castle Age, too.
Yep. But if you take full map control and you deny a castle, it could be very different. And ACCM is just not expecting the scouts. Oh,
my
God.
Oh, my God. This could be terrible. This could be absolutely awful. He's got a 3rd monk on the way. He does have Sanctity. He does have villagers there.
If he walls it in, it's fine. He just needs to wall it in. Will he know he needs to wall it in?
Even if he doesn't wall it in here, he's still probably fine. I mean, Villese doesn't have enough gold to even buy himself a castle.
Villese's not moving out.
And stop this.
Yeah. I think he just noticed, honestly. I think it took him so long to notice because of the water. Is it too late here? ACCM
It's
has
too
time
late.
to wall in
It's
his
too
vills.
late. Yeah,
He
it's
should
too
be able to
late.
wall in his vills.
I think even if he doesn't wall them in, the castle's going up.
Wow. Well, I mean,
Yeah,
that
castle's
just shows
going
how
up.
distracted Villese was, right?
And he's going to go up to Imperial Age, too. This is so well played from him.
A demo in the south. Like, Villese continues to push in an area where the fish aren't even located anymore. It's going to take him so long to loop around that way to get to the fish that are now in the north. And actually, we have the fires from ACCM, and he's going to clear up fishing ships. All 5 of those fishing ships could go down. So he's got the forward castle. He's got the better eco, at least I think anyways, at least practically for this game, because it makes more sense. I don't know what you do against this. I think Villese almost needs to like loop his vills around and drop a castle on ACCM's TC, because I don't know where else you place it.
Yeah, I don't think ACCM can stop that either. With the light cav roaming around. So maybe like on that hill it would be perfect.
Yeah.
That's where he has his light cav right now, but you're still worried about your opponent's imp time, right? And forward docks now coming up from ACCM again. He's got barracks coming out.
Well, look at the
is
food count for ACCM. Some fishing ships are bugging right now. I think they're trying
are
to
they?
drop off food next to the dock in the north. Yeah, they're stuck there now. I know you're looking to see if there's a fish trap there. You're the master at calling out bugged fish traps.
No,
Amongst other
I wasn't
things.
looking for a fish trap. No, I'm fine.
Okay.
Villese going for a castle in the south. Interesting.
Yeah, not
So he's
really.
just gonna try and hold on, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's not in a position that could be trebbed that easily. ACCM probably won't know it's there. Important moment in the north, though, because the food eco is still pretty low for ACCM, even though he made it to Imp. Now he's starting to lose some fish. This is going to be rough to afford upgrades, right? Like fletching, bodcanero, or maybe armor for infantry. All those things are going to be pretty far away for both players. And Imp will come in for Villese. He still has more eco because of the additional villagers, but will he be able to hold his position on water, but also on land if trebuchets come out? Oh, Lycav just killed a bunch of monks there, Dave. Next
Sorry,
to the
I was
monastery.
adjusting your volume. Oh, yeah, 4 monks going down. Damn, dude.
Fast fire as well coming in. Always nice to beat the Italians fast fire, considering how cheap it is for the Italians. 71 eco versus 85. And I love the outpost from ACCM. I also love how he hasn't gone for crazy investment with upgrades. He knows the situation.
Yep.
Just needs a little bit of a buffer, and he doesn't need to go for anything crazier than that. He's looking for something.
Even if he loses water now, as long as he clears up all this land presence from Villese, there's no way back. With a chunky island like this, if he clears up all the villagers on the middle, there's basically no way back for Villese. He's going to run out of resources.
ACCM has played this so good, dude. It's
Really
been
well.
amazing.
Yeah.
And he knows exactly what to do now. He just drops the castle there to protect his trebuchets.
Ooh, I wonder if he can kill this university before chemistry comes in. That would be so annoying.
Oh, it probably will. Yeah, fires destroy buildings really quickly, and Villese is hoping to get bombard cannon to save the day. Also, he's made a crossbow. There's a condo. He's trying to deny this castle. If he denies the castle, he definitely gives himself a chance here. I think this castle won't go up, Dave. It's at 72%, but there's not enough villagers. Oh, there's more on the way now.
Yeah, I think it will. He's just going to send more vills. And university is dead, bro. Before chemistry comes in, Villese
That's
is
so
gonna be thinking,
frustrating.
What happened? What happened? He can't get bombard cannons. Oh,
The
that's
castle's not
going
gonna
to
go up.
Annoying.
ACCM,
It won't.
I
will.
don't think it
won't.
will.
It will. It won't.
It has to go up
will.
for ACCM. It has to go up.
It will. It will. It will. It will. It will.
Okay.
It does.
Well, now he's got the trebs. He will need the villagers there to repair, obviously, so he doesn't have as many. Still doing a great job with fire ships, but Villese's not finished there yet either. It's 11 fire ships versus 12. 1 castle versus 2 castles in the middle. But I think the stone count's just not quite there for Villese, and he doesn't have the vill count to repair that. So at the very least, he will lose his castle. Yeah, both players lose their castles there, I guess. Wow, that got messy there for a second. 90 population versus 110. Still prefer ACCM's position.
Would have been a lot messier if Villese had access to bombard cannon.
Yeah.
Would have been a lot messier, but chemistry. I mean, didn't come in. It's still a minute away now. He had to replace the university, and ACCM backs up. He got chemistry himself. Now he can go for bombard cannon.
I'm laughing because now Villese is going to lose his siege workshop. So he's going to complete chemistry, and then he'll need a new siege workshop for bombard cannons.
It's just not meant to be, bro. It's just not meant to be. Don't make them. It's a trap.
Well, the food eco for ACCM is horrible.
Well.
Look at ACCM's starting island, and then look at Villese's starting island. Look at the difference in farms there.
Literally and figuratively a desert.
Yeah, like he got the timing he wanted, and he just got the treb there from Villese, but realistically, I don't think he's going to be able to go into anything but castle drops, trebs, and bombard cannons. And that's tricky when Villese has Arbalest on the way with Bracer and chemistry. I mean, this is wild. I'd like the recognition from ACCM that this is the position he's in, though, and he just continues to run forward.
He's going for another castle.
Yeah.
Another castle coming from ACCM. It's up on the wood lines there. I think controlling wood is going to be really important. Also, killing TCs and houses. We've already seen it impact Villese. He's been housed for a while now, or a couple times throughout Imp. Going to get rid of 5 more population. Another house going to fall. The monastery going down. ACCM is losing villagers on that wood line.
I think Villese
trying to transport more across.
Villese could also lose access to gold. He has no gold in his starting island. And it also becomes more complicated to transport when you've got fires looping in as well. I mean, man, this is such a crazy game. There's still no answer to Arbalest for ACCM at his base.
Yep.
That's still a big issue for him, but at least the TC's there. Oh my god, is he going to snipe the bombard cannon from Villese? Oh my god, he does.
He gets it. He gets it.
That's huge. And he'll get the treb as
And
well,
he's going to
Dave.
take the treb too. Oh god. And now Villese is just running out of space. Completely running out of space. He's sniping the villagers on the gold from ACCM. ACCM still doesn't have careening, so he can transport 5 at a time, essentially.
He is starting to farm, though, which is good. And that's huge because I like how he deleted the TC as well.
My god, I just watched a villager kill a fast fire ship.
Where was that? In the south?
Yeah.
Okay, well, bombard cannons are going to
I've
get
never
attacked. They're
seen
pulled
that.
back to the castle. And now, the trebs, do you really want your trebs here? I think he's just diving for the siege workshop to stop the next bombard cannon from coming out.
I think you want your trebs here because what's going to kill them? The Arbalest? It's just a trap.
Well,
Villese is losing all of his Arbalest.
It's true. The bombard cannon is there, Dave, but now he can't make more of Villese because he doesn't have the siege workshop. What a ridiculous play there from ACCM.
Also, ACCM killing the transport from Villese.
Imagine having
the
to go for
bombard
water
cannon
control
from
amongst all this
Villese.
as well.
No! 2 trebs down.
So exposed, man. He's got no support for them. And he did that all to take out a siege workshop. Villese won't die. He went forward with 4 trebs. He's gonna make it out with 2, it looks like, just barely. He's got Bodkin arrow, no armor. That's not gonna be enough. He needs more than that. ACCM to be able to make skirmishers and to be able to push back what Villese is making with Arbs.
It's so tough here. Like, do you add a cannon galleon to range all this if you're ACCM? Because you know there's fast fires on there, but you already have chemistry.
Yeah.
Feels like a cannon galleon could do so much work down here, but it's a huge investment. Maybe you go for it anyway. Villese is starting to run out of wood on his home island. I mean, he's almost out right now. He's even going for a lumber camp on the right side edge of this main island. And he's kind of, his woodlines right now are kind of being harassed by ACCM. But speaking of harassment, I mean, Arbalest still doing work.
Yep.
ACCM's Northern Eco.
Also, ACCM is out of wood now. He's got 40, 50 villagers just stuck. So he is completely out of wood. In fact, that was his only wood eco. He had 0 wood eco in the middle.
Oh,
so
God. Is
he's
there another
struggling.
age he can go up to? Get 200 wood again?
True.
Can he go back in time?
Still doesn't have bracer. Still really doesn't have armor. So I think what ACCM needs to do right now is stop pushing. Just hold with bombard cannons to keep your castles up. Snipe whatever bombard cannons and trebs come out from Villese. And then get those villagers across.
Please, dear God, do something about even one Arumi. Do something about the woodline on the right of the main island.
Oh, yeah, true. If he sees it.
Vils
He might
is
not
so
actually see it.
exposed. He does with the tread.
Yep.
He does.
It would
Condos
be
coming in.
Oh, man,
Condos are
condos are
such
so
a good
important
unit
here.
Yeah. Attack round, maybe?
Look at the difference in blacksmith upgrades. Really shows you how good the food eco was for Villese there. Does that make the difference when it comes to pushing these castles? I'm not so sure. I think what you want is just bomber cannon numbers.
There's the Arumi going towards that wood line.
There's a chance that
Skirmishers.
ACCM will lose his Villes. He's going to transport here in a second.
Maybe.
There's so many different things to look at right now.
He still only has 5 space in his transports.
Yeah, that's
He's
really
not
bad.
upgrading yet. That's so annoying.
Well,
Both
not
players
only
trying
that,
to deal with the bomber cannons in the middle, and forging now coming in, and these condos, they're looking pretty deadly. They're gonna be able to snipe those bomber cannons pretty soon.
as long as the bomber cannons stay underneath the castle, they should be okay. But you never know, man. You never know. And that Trev from ACCM, the south of this castle, is a little exposed. God, I'm stressed for them right now. Still so many
I
idols
know.
for ACCM. He has not checked his idols.
Bro, he needs to do something back here. Needs to do something. Like, even put them all on that stone or something along those lines. Do something with the villagers, please.
He is going to get his fires looping down to the left, I believe. Or the south, I guess you could say.
Ooh, almost losing a bomber cannon is Villese. ACCM hunting for that.
Oh, and Villese is going to kill one. He could kill two here.
Oh, he gets one.
I thought he was going to
Wow.
get two.
I thought for sure he was going to get 2. Meanwhile, that Arumi killed a lot of villagers on the right side. Villese, though, transporting to the north now. So he might be able to take wood up there without ACCM noticing. Vilese's played the end part of this game really nice.
Yeah.
Wow, 2 villagers dead.
Oh, and 2 bomber cannons dead at the same time. It should be 2. It is 2. And now Villese could maybe comfortably push the Trebs. And again, I guess the Skirms
still
have
only
Bracer.
they only have +1 armor, though.
Yeah.
So not the greatest against the Arbalists. Also don't have ballistics. Careening now on the way for ACCM.
He probably realized
try and
as he was trying to transport that was an
Yeah,
issue.
that's an ugly feeling, looking back at your island and seeing like 30 villagers just standing there doing nothing.
This is an epic game. Both players have played so well. I thought Villese was dead after the faster Imperial Age, but his economy ended up keeping him in the game.
He sees the villagers in the north, by the way, and there's a castle there.
It's a good castle. You could argue a more aggressive castle could go up, but when you're possibly going to push the south as he snipes that Treb finally,
Yeah.
maybe that's not what you need.
Archers now added in, and crossbow on the way, +2 armor on the way for ACCM. Maybe these castles can buy him enough time to get all his eco over there. But he's going to be repairing for quite a while here, and it doesn't feel like he can push this.
Yeah, Arbalest is obviously going to help a lot against the condos. I'll be curious to see what Villese does with that northern castle, because there's so much exposed eco for ACCM. And ACCM will actually see that castle's there. I don't know where his villagers are going right now. Maybe he's going to make a tower there.
Tower could be, I don't know about a tower, just a lumber camp. Yeah. Tower is just a minor annoyance that one Treb can solve, you know?
He's got a Treb behind his castle here, Dave. He's trying to, like, somehow snipe a bomber cannon from the most annoying position ever, but really hard to get that spacing lined up properly. Villese
I like
has the
how
lead.
both players, I really like how both players just deleted their TC on their starting islands.
Yeah.
Like, no. We're not going to keep making villagers there by mistake.
A Villese on the way for Villese. Just shows you again how good his eco is. He did lose a bomber cannon, but he's repositioned the other 2, so the Treb has to move again.
Oh, the condos in ACCM's eco. He doesn't notice yet. Oh,
Dang, I'm
villagers going
so
down.
impressed. How does Villese have 160 eco, man?
I don't know.
How?
I
It's
don't know.
insane.
I don't
And he's
know.
got different positions of the island as well.
Ooh, bomber cannon did go down. It did die to the trebuchet, but the condos are coming in now. ACCM can wall around that. Oh, beautiful. Wonderful. Wonderful play here from ACCM. The condos are coming in. They're going to kill some villagers. They're going to try and snipe that Treb, but he's bought the Treb more time for sure.
Let's see if the patience is there for Villese, because he's got enough to be able to
ACCM
snipe the Treb, and he
repair the
pulls
Treb.
away. The other bomber cannons are exposed, and this could be the end for ACCM. Such patience from Villese. Condos as well in the north now are going to hit that wood line. They'll definitely snipe the Trebs. There's no way Villese ever loses that castle. ACCM's falling apart. 107 pop. 165 for Villese. He's got handcart. He's got 26 farms. He's got navy still. He's got condos. He's got arbalest, bomber cannons. What does he not have here?
It's over, man. ACCM had a great push there. He had a faster Imperial Age time, but just couldn't get it done. He didn't transport his villagers soon enough. And he didn't get the farm set up. Like you said, he was relying completely on the fish eco. And the transition, he just got burned completely.
What a beautiful game. ACCM still
Castle
not wanting
here.
to call it.
There's going to be a castle here soon from Villese. Maybe in the north on the farms.
Yeah, he needs, like, if he's going to have any success, he needs to push the north back while losing the south. But he's just getting raided every time I look over there. The condos were the perfect unit. And yet again, Villese realizes that pretty much all that's there is bomber cannons. So he just pushes these bomber cannons back, could probably kill them as well, and then he can take the next castle.
Maybe he doesn't kill them. Oh, he takes one. Worth it.
The skirms help out from ACCM. Trying desperately now to snipe something, but again, the patience. Every time Villese needs to pull back, he pulls back. He's still raiding in the north, still defended. He is losing his own bomber cannon. That's kind of awkward, but the other 4 are still alive. Make it 3.
Villese could just plop a castle down on that eco from ACCM, basically anywhere.
Yeah.
Basically anywhere.
Yeah, it's like he's in a stronger position than he's even showing right now.
Yeah.
But I think for him, he wants to take this castle out and then drop his castle there. I think he realizes how good his position is right now. And he knows that ACCM's on the back
vills.
foot.
Like, how do you have 133 vills here?
And
I
he
don't
has
even
a
get it,
balanced economy.
I know.
40,
He's
40, 30. That's insane.
Dude, he's a machine. He's literally a machine. It's crazy.
Wild, man. And so many people would have died to the early imp push. Oh, nice quick ball there from ACCM. Like, that's why ACCM didn't prioritize the farming ecos, because that was enough to kill somebody. Faster to the bomber cannons, right? Faster to the trebs.
There's the castle.
Man.
That's the GG castle. Like,
Yeah.
ACCM can't stop it. As soon the relics have kept him kind of in the game. 4 relics in here, which is huge. But as soon as he sees that, as soon as he notices it, he knows it's over. And he just lost crossbows. He's going to lose these bomber cannons for sure.
Yeah, even if he doesn't lose it, he's still unable to really push in this position. And yeah, there he loses one. Castle will be up. I'm not even sure he's noticed that right now because he's so focused on the other side. And yeah, now he's noticed and now he calls it. What a crazy game.
I thought ACCM had that for sure. But he didn't get his eco sorted behind, and I think that's what makes Villese so good, right? Like ACCM had crazy timings.
Yeah.
Getting to Imperial Age, he had great water defense, good aggression, getting the relics, everything like that. But he was sacrificing his eco to do all those things, and Villese behind this was just methodically building up farms, getting his eco upgrades, transporting villagers across, and he just made it look so easy.
Yeah, it's really tricky because it's easy to think that ACCM not macroing was a mistake, but I think honestly it's just a strategic thing, right? Villese thought more long-term with his eco, and so he delayed his Imperial Age because he added the 3rd TC. ACCM wasn't adding farms because he was just sending everything he could for trebuchets. There was actually a point where he bought 200 wood for a trebuchet in early imp, so his approach was castle pushing trebs. But
I mean,
that should be enough to kill the majority of players, honestly. In this event as
dude,
well.
it was really close too.
Yeah.
It was really close. Like adding that 3rd TC almost lost him the game. It was razor edge kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Rager edge. Might be
Rager
edge as well. Yeah,
wrong series for the rage.
The Rager edge of Villese,
Also, another interesting stat for this game, as we'll move on to the next one. Total eco count for ACCM was 159. And then for Villese, it was 158 in the whole game. So they actually pretty much had the same amount of eco units, but it's what they were doing. And also important difference there is that it was 134 villagers max for Villese. It was 93 villagers for ACCM. Is that correct? Did we miss ACCM making like 40 fishing ships? You see, it's this society tab. I'm trying to make sense of the math now.
I'm not in the game anymore.
Okay, I
I mean,
actually
look
don't
at the
know.
eco KD right now. There was one Villese lost a lot, I think, or was it ACCM? It
Well,
might have been
Villese killed
ACCM.
97,
Yeah,
and
it
then
was
he lost
ACCM.
31. Yeah, so I guess what those stats tell us is that they had the same amount of eco throughout that game, but Villese's villagers just stayed alive.
Yeah.
Right? Wow, that was a 6 series. Really proved me wrong as well, because I felt like ACCM is the player who's going to be able to get those timings on a map like this, but I did not expect to push back.
Also, the 9 villagers start, really interesting. I love it on closed maps. Like, I absolutely love it. Or maps like Migration, right?
Yeah.
It takes so long to build up. 9 villagers start doesn't really make a difference on strategy. It's more at build. On Arabia, I'm still kind of on the fence on that because I think it impacts strategy a lot on
I
Arabia.
agree. Yeah, any standard lands map, I do agree that it impacts strategy.
And some civs are just like Chinese on Arabia, very strong. Also, scouting at the beginning, you have to make a choice. Do I want to find my woodline or do I want to figure out what my opponent's up to?
Yeah.
you know, like, whereas with the 3 villager start, you got a little bit more time to do that.
From my assessment, granted, I'm not as experienced as, some of these players might be and whatnot. It eliminates a lot of Dark Age strategy, right? So like drushing, 2 militia, fast feudal, any of that like variety Dark Age stuff, players are going to do that. They're not going to go scout. They're just going to push deer and get a faster feudal almost every time.
And
but for this map, it's perfect.
When you eliminate Dark Age strategy like that, like Land Madness, it's fine because you just need to find a woodline and then go forward, right? There's not a whole lot of stuff that you need to discover right away, like Arabia.
Yeah.
And you're not going to like plan out your walls and whatnot. But when you eliminate that early strategy for a map like Arabia, I feel like you tend towards more defensive play in general.
Yeah, exactly. They'll build up towards feudal, confirm what the opponent's doing, and play defensive. Now, we can talk more about the Civ matchup here right after I finish this. But like, obviously, I loved Empire Wars. I loved Red Bull. And I think it's cool and good for the game that we have like different varieties of starts.
Yep.
But anyone who's like, faster starts is more esports, that's the biggest load of crap ever. Age of Empires 2 came back from the dead for a reason, right? We don't need to reinvent the wheel.
Games.
Yeah, we don't need the whole game to be redesigned. It's completely fine how it is. But maybe I'm just too old,
That being said, though, like for closed maps and stuff, I'm completely in favor. Like I
agree.
said, for open maps, I'm just on the fence, right?
Yeah, no,
I think
I'm with you.
Arabia, it's not as good from what I've seen. It's a little bit more generic with all the strats in Arabia, less exciting. But we'll see. For Land Madness, don't have a problem with it because Land Madness is fairly straightforward, as we see both players now pushing in the deer. Go to the woodline, which they can't set up a full wall, so they'll just go for small walls around it. And Franks versus Japanese. Japanese is an interesting pick here, Tristan. Franks is more of a meta civilization, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, normally you're thinking scouts. So that's why Franks are strong. Also, there's additional areas with berries, which is another reason why you want Franks. It's very farm heavy, another reason why you want Franks. I guess having the cheaper mills and lumber camps and mining camps is helpful when you have so many resources scattered throughout. But I actually think this is an example of a civilization that's actually worse here versus the Dark Age start because you don't take advantage of the cheap mills and cheap lumber camps to the same degree when everyone just starts with 9 villagers. But I guess it does suit Villese's style because he loves to play Spearman Archer. And for that reason, I could see why he might pick the
He likes the macro as well. Maybe we see him add in some mills around these extra Ibex on the outskirts, but I mean, it's going to be tough, right? Because the Franks are always going to have more military than you.
Yeah,
They're going to have an advantage to the feudal age, and their scouts are going to have more HP initially. I mean, Japanese get bloodlines, so their scouts are better technically at the end of feudal age, but Villese, like you said, is going into the archer approach likely.
I mean, I think the archer approach is what a lot of people tend to do, but if you think about it, you could just go Scout Spear, and then in Castle Age, you could go Knights and Pikemen, and that can be very strong against the Franks, because the Franks normally aren't going to want to make a switch out of something like that themselves. So that's what I want to see here. I just want to see Scout Spearmen, and maybe for Land Madness, if you end the game before Imperial Age, you can do that with the Japanese, and the fact that you have kind of weak Cavalier isn't going to be a factor here.
Neither player has really a wood line that can wall completely into their base either.
Yeah.
ACCM could think about it, but that's a big one, right? Sometimes you get these small little wood lines that you can do like a egg wall and secure it to the edge of the map, but
Dude,
Villese doesn't have one. ACCM doesn't have one. So
in the
it should be fine.
resurgence in my best of 5 against ACCM, where surprise, surprise, it got destroyed, he had the most rigged Lands Madness map gen ever. He full wall to his TC pretty much. Because like you said, sometimes there's these generations that just allow you to be creative with house walls.
Sounds like copium to me.
No, I'm still not over it, so I just needed to bring it up again. I got it out of my system, and now we're good.
By the way, guys, and for anyone who doesn't know, we are playing our Nomad team game tournament tomorrow.
Against
16 GMT.
Bad Boy and Friends, which means it will be very painful.
Dude, we're going to win. We're going to win.
Oh, good poke there from Villese. That's good. And it is Scout Spearman for him, as expected. I actually want to check the players' scouting of their own base right now to see if they see other hunt and berries. Villese does not. A lot of players won't go out to take it.
ACCM sees some actually not in a bad position at the back there.
Yeah, he could do
It's
that.
not terrible.
And when you get 3 scouts, that's when they become dangerous. Even against the Spearman, though you normally don't see players take that fight. They wait for 4. And both players moving out. About to be 4 scouts here for ACCM. He sees the Spearman. He moves away. And then there's 2 Spearmen at home for ACCM, so he's protected. And that wood line's huge, dude. That wood line is so nice for him. He can stay on that the whole game.
Yeah, he's already got the lumber colony. Just sit back there, safe as anything. I mean, I don't think Villese was really expecting to get much damage with the scouts. He was probably just thinking, I need some sort of counterattack to keep him honest.
Yeah.
And not just sending all the military forward. I do like the civ selection for Villese in that it plays towards his strengths as a player. Right, he's going to play more defensively, play the macro game. You can see the farms already going up for him. Economy is looking pretty good. But isn't there like better civilizations that do this as well than Japanese?
Yeah, I would have to look at the draft order because sometimes you're just stuck and you have to go for a civ that's like 5 or 6 civilizations down that tier list. He did get fortunate there. I really felt like ACCM could have taken a fight on the wood line. There was 1 Spearman and 2 scouts. Now it's 2 Spearmen, 3 scouts. So now ACCM will never want to fight. Also,
Gotta respect the Spearman, dude.
No walls on the wood line to the left of his TC. And none of the berries either. As again, that's an easy fight for ACCM if he wants to take it.
That's an easy quick wall for Villese, though.
Or
Never
not.
mind. Never mind.
I was going to agree with you until you ran away. And again, it just feels so hopeless for Villese to ever get some damage in with those scouts. But, and again, the rest of his scouts are all at home. ACCM in full control here.
I mean, he's just kind of adding farms. He's getting his eco sorted and slow playing this like crazy. I mean, he's got more scouts than ACCM right now. If he gets bloodlines, his scouts will be stronger than the Frank players. So maybe he can take a direct engagement. He is engaging against the gold, and he does get a villager.
Nice.
So first villager of the game actually goes to Villese, who's been playing very defensively here, kind of lulling ACCM into a false sense of security.
It is kind of half canceled out by the idle time from Villese, but you always take the Vil kill if you can get it. And the forward Spearman here force a quick wall reaction from Villese. He can quick wall. He does to save those villagers, but he cannot comfortably sit there with his army anymore. And that gold also could be sniped as well. But Bloodlines is coming in now.
Seems like an easy quick wall. Maybe. Potentially. He's got a lot of wood right now. He could actually go for a market if he wanted to.
I think having that much wood is a bad sign, right? You've got 17 farms for ACCM. You've got 14 for Villese. And there's a villager there. That villager should die. But ACCM just a little late to recognizing the villagers, I feel like, in this game.
Scouts going down, even with bloodlines, but 2 scouts from ACCM dying as well. Villager from Villese will be saved. And Eco KD remains at 1-0 in favor of Villese. And he's coming in again towards the farms. Might be able to snipe a villager here if ACCM doesn't notice. No, he's going to pull that back.
ACCM goes for a villager, getting revenge. Will snipe that one. Well played. Loses 2 scouts.
3 scouts there. Ooh.
Oh, yeah, 3 in total. I can see. Snipes the scout, though, and it's going to run home. And, yeah, this is going to go to Castle Age.
Market for Villese.
Probably a good play. I wonder if he might
He had the wood
sense-
anyway. Like, he had it anyway. You got to drop it, right? It'll help you later in the game.
I also think that going into TCs is...
Bit of a
I just
trap.
think Franks... Yeah, I think Franks are good at that, and I think Franks are better at that. So maybe if you feel like you're behind with the farms, you just sell your stone and go up and just go 1 TC.
So after all is said and done, with the Franks advantages here, Eco is looking very similar. Villese has wheelbarrow, ACCM does not. Villese also has the first wood upgrade, which ACCM does not have. That's big.
It's interesting to not
KD
have that.
is pretty much even, and Eco KD is even.
Wow, and the Castle Age times are even. And he didn't have to sell his stone. Very impressed.
Yep. And like, he's already going for a second stable, so he's going to be going on to knights here. It's going to be knights versus knights. Probably see some monks as well. Japanese pikemen are better than Frank pikemen.
Ooh, this is sloppy from ACCM. You've got to know that those scouts are on the prowl. And that's a villager lost. Like, you've got to have spearmen over there. And now he brings his spearmen over, of course. Good job.
Good job
Villese
with
has
these
the lead.
scouts. He hasn't taken any risks with these scouts. He's just kind of like created his own openings.
Yep.
Not hanging around, not getting greedy with them. Now that I say that, he's going to dive right under the TC or get hit by spearmen or something, but...
And just passing, does take a hit, but this is all fine. And he sees a weak villager. He was looking at the HP.
God.
He gets it and still has
So
2
much
scouts.
value.
This is so clean.
And he's adding in... Oh, he added in another scout for a second. So maybe he was thinking about preemptively countering any monks coming out here from ACCM, but decided against that and goes for a blacksmith instead. Didn't have a blacksmith. That's interesting.
Yeah, went for the stable before that. I'm loving Villese's position more and more.
Mm-hmm.
He could justify the pikeman upgrade. I think you definitely want to go 2 stable knights first. Like, you want to make sure that you're producing knights before you get pikemen, but faster attacking pikeman's no joke. And ACCM's gold is not exactly protected. He might go instantly for a TC there, and he does. Love to see, yep, monastery as well. That's all pretty standard, but this push could come in hot and heavy on the gold. Even with pikemen, they could kill villagers.
Villese needs to save these scouts. Ooh, that's a bit sloppy, especially since he sees that monastery, but he's going to see the TC. Good scouting from him. See the TC, he'll see the monastery, see the double stable. No surprise on the stables there. And the pikeman upgrade is in, and the knights are already taking damage from those, so that's good value at the beginning here from Villese, and he goes for a second TC as well. Like, great opening to Castle Age.
Good micro here from ACCM. Let's see. He wants to kill the pikeman. He doesn't want to lose the knight. He's then going to have to heal up. Man, Japanese pikemen are smothering, dude. It's like, if they hit you, you're going to die so fast. And second TC's in a good spot. Yeah, on a wood line, that's not easy to do normally. Well calculated from Villese, as per usual. I think every monk here is so important for ACCM. He's behind, but with a couple conversions and, of course, healing of any weak units, could obviously eventually get back into this game. Not like he's out of the game, but certainly with army control right now, it's a little awkward.
He is getting wheelbarrow now, and when he gets wheelbarrow, he will have better eco upgrades than Villese.
Yep.
And he's coming in for a counter raid here too. He might be able to pick off some villagers, but it looks like Villese is fairly safe. A little bit of distraction there as ACCM goes for the third TC. And the later we get into this game, do you favor Franks more? I kind of do, especially with their cheap castles to secure the rest of the map.
Well, the thing is, in Castle Age, you need to have knights to kill. And so, yes, pikeman's good, but pikeman can't push TCs. Pikeman isn't mobile. So, you know, that's the main thing here for Villese. So I think he needs to make sure he continues with knight numbers. If it ever gets to a situation where he only has pikemen, there's options for the Franks, and it's going to be easy for ACCM to switch around the map.
Ooh, 2 conversions maybe? No. Runs away. The monks are still chasing, though. They haven't been retasked yet.
And then the knights are going to find a
has
villager.
to make sure he doesn't dip back.
This is what I mean. We've got 8 pikemen and 6 knights versus...
The
oh,
knights are in.
God.
That's a hole. That's a hole. Oh, that's tragic. That's actually tragic. Villese, though, noticing right away, and he might save 3 of these. Great stuff.
Yeah, no forging there. I think forging would have made a big difference. ACCM's clearly distracted, but I don't know if Villese realizes either, because they're looking at the other fight where the conversions will come
2 knights
in.
converted.
And also,
Huge.
a bunch of villagers died underneath the town center at the same time.
Big swing for ACCM here, and he's going to escape with, okay, 2 knights. Barely 2 knights.
Yeah, I think that conversion was really helpful because now that converted knight can kill
Look
the
at
other
knight
2
numbers,
knights.
though. 13 knights for ACCM, 5 knights for Villese. And like you said earlier, the pikemen are nice, but they're really only defensive.
Yep.
Can't do anything against the buildings. You'll need siege to accompany them. And these knights are even going to clear up the pikemen. Knights counter pikemen confirmed.
Not a biggest fan of that trade from ACCM. He lost 2 knights there. Would have preferred he pull back the weak ones, but he does have 3 town center eco flying. And now he goes to stone. So this is where it gets dangerous, right? You don't have the knight numbers to push, and then the Frank player can either forward castle drop you or play into defensive castles and go for throwing axemen, which is awesome against pikes.
And Villese going for stone, and Villese knows that the last couple minutes haven't been great.
Yeah.
He's going to have to play defensively and then somehow figure out a composition to push ACCM back. But I think both players realizing this game is going into Imperial H.
Man, Villese just didn't check the stone. He's being too sneaky with the knights. I think ACCM will end up outposting and placing houses around so he has vision, but he didn't do it there. That could have been 4 or 5 dead vills, but he's looping around instead to an area which is pretty much already protected.
Yeah.
And now the knights from ACCM are going to loop in. And to be fair, both players have done an excellent job on a map where you can't full wall to protect their eco.
Ooh, stray villager out there. I don't think either player knew that vill was there until the knights attacked it. Still no +2 armor on the knights to run under the TCs, but I mean, Villese doesn't have fletching yet, so
Yeah.
they can make that decision if they want to. However, there is 3 monks here and a ton of pikemen, so ACCM needs to get out of dodge.
Oh!
He's going for a 4th TC too.
I like the 4th town center. I love the transitions for ACCM. And he also loses monks.
2 monks.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Did he get a
yikes.
conversion there? I don't think he did.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. He's going to get value, though, and the knights need to leave. But still, that's 200 gold down the drain. And he's still trying to... He's still risking it, bro. He's still trying to come in here with these knights forward. He's going to get 3 converted? No, he pulls away.
Yeah, that could have been really bad.
Could have been massive.
Look at this monk from Villese grabbing the relic. Right underneath ACCM's nose. That should never happen. Also, great fight. ACCM thought he was just chasing knights, but there were actually some pikemen in the middle. So Villese gets a really nice clear up there.
He's going to pull away, though, and he retargets the knight to hit the weak knight from Villese. That was great. He pulled him away. He knew they were all chasing the knight running north. Pulled that guy away, took out another unit, and now Villese is going for more barracks, and he's fully realizing that he needs a halberdier push in Imperial Age as he goes for his 4th TC. However, like you said, throwing axemen, great solution against halbs, which means Villese will then need to mix in Arbalest, which is a tough tech switch, considering he doesn't have any of the blacksmith upgrades for those.
Yeah, Villese
or any
doing,
archer ranges down.
Villese is doing such a good job. He does lose a monk there, but he's made it so hard for the mobility of the knights to matter. I think, you know, the core eco for Villese is protected. ACCM should obviously still try, but it's going to be tough. But the sides, the right side, the left side, that's where the knights should be controlling.
The farms at the back should be a target. And look at the knights coming in. Ooh, that stone as well. There's only 1 monk there, Tristan. There's only 1 monk, and Villese is going to need to run away from that. ACCM going right to the back here, but there's still 3 more monks. This could be really
everywhere.
bad.
And he's going to loop back
really
in.
bad.
He hears the Warlords.
Oh,
also,
God.
every single monk is targeting a different knight, which is insane.
Great. Castle up in the north of Villese's base. Great castle location.
Oh, the monks are back at it. ACCM has to run away again. And he does. He also took a fight against that knight in the middle against Villese. These guys are playing amazing. I'm so jealous how clean they play this game. And that's a good fight for ACCM. I actually like this because you pull back, get the conversions, then you heal up.
Dude, Villese is a beast. Like, he's got 4 TCs. He's been microing monks the entire game, and he's got 2 minutes and 10 seconds of combined idle TC time.
It's crazy.
I mean, it's going up now again, of course, when I say it, but he's a machine.
It might actually be intentional at this point because when the castles start to go up, it becomes a big priority.
You want to go up to him.
Yeah.
He's stalling it out 100%.
And he's going to lose monks. No, he hops inside the TC. Now, this is awkward because the knights have to run away. And when they run away, those monks are just waiting to hop out of the TC. He's going to hop out now. Boom. Oh, okay. Well, I had high hopes.
You got to bop. You don't boom. You bop. Trust me. I'm an expert.
7 villagers killed by ACCM this game.
Both going up at the same time. Watch.
Well, he just sold a bunch of res. I'm not seeing it. Does he have it queued behind a villager, or is he going all in?
I thought he did. I saw him use the market. I thought he had it queued. I guess not. ACCM is going up. Or no, Villese is going up. ACCM is not.
So Villese doesn't have... Oh, nice wall there. There is a hole.
Oh. He's only going to get one knight, though. They're both converting the same knight.
Yeah, the knights are going to get away anyways. Both players are not mining stone.
Oh, he finds the gold. He finds the gold. Maybe he can kill Vils here. Does he want to dive?
He's been half a second late to killing
away.
Vils a couple times in this game. And I think if you would have got the pickoff,
I don't think he's going to be half a second late to this lumber camp at the north, though.
Nope. Oh, man, what a rough position. And now there's Axeman. But it is a Castle Age play from ACCM. So he stayed in Castle Age longer. He's extended his boom as well. 130 villagers is a lot of villagers. But what this has allowed him to do is kill the villagers, but also expand freely to the other stone on the right. And I'm sure he's going to be looking for more as he takes this fight.
Ooh. Should have waited for the Axeman, bro. I guess there's only 3, but definitely should have waited.
Also, the knights are going to get converted. I don't think these monks got conversions for ACCM, but in the end, he gets the clear he wants, and he's just holding that control and keeping Villese pinned back in his base. But it was kind of all right for Villese, to be honest.
Yeah, now Villese is teching into crossbowmen, so he's going to go Arbalest here. He did kill a couple villagers with his knight raids at the back, and ACCM hasn't made a full switch into Axeman either, so he's going to continue to make knights into Cavalier, potentially Paladin, and that will kind of counter the Arbalest, but there's going to be Halbs here from Villese, so interesting the rock, paper, scissors that they're going to have to go through in Imperial Age to counter each other. The Halb Arb push will be all concentrated in one section. Yep. ACCM is going to want to raid and pick away at the edges, but then again, the Halbs can just patrol back there and deal with it.
I think seeing that castle there, Villese should drop his castle right next to his pikemen and just send his early trebs there.
Maybe.
Like you said, you need to concentrate the push, so you need to force the fights. Dude, I'm beginning to worry a little bit for ACCM because he hasn't been able to make use of the mobility. And while he is dropping castles, the Axeman number is really low, and he needs the castles that could get trebbed down.
He's going for a second blacksmith, so he wants to make these tech switches really quickly.
Yeah.
142 villagers for him, too. Like, that's a good eco.
Honestly, an underrated tech here that no one ever does is the Franks. Onager. Like, Onager Axeman is actually your best composition against the Japanese, because the Japanese are always going to go Halb Arbalest.
Yeah, until they get block printing redemption.
Yeah, that's a fair point. And then again, it's so slow, so you don't usually want to do that. Look at this castle. And look at the monks immediately go for conversions as well. This guy's insane. Axeman can't deny that, Dave. They're all being produced.
Knights coming into the back of Villese's base could wreak havoc if he doesn't. Oh my god, he notices right away.
So good.
Disgusting.
All right, so keep an eye on the stone count, guys, because that's going to be important here. And also, I think the Arbalest number for Villese, because he might take out this castle, but he might not be able to push into the Axeman. Knights are still running around. Great job from ACCM to not give up on that. And it's 160 pop versus 160 pop. Very much like the first game of the series, where the populations were so close. One player has that faster imp time, but the other player has better eco, Dave. 62 farms versus 25 right now. Massive difference in the economies.
ACCM now going for light cav. He's going for elite throwing axemen in the castle that is forward with one villager repairing. I think he thought his villagers that were repairing at the front would survive a little bit longer than they did.
Yeah, and he might assume
elite axemen's not going to go in. It's not going to complete, will it?
Yeah.
Maybe.
I mean, if he calculates it, I'll be impressed.
It's going to complete.
He'll get it. Yeah. And actually, that's not the castle you want to produce from either, so that's maybe what he was thinking. And now he's treb pushing Villese on the right side.
Yep.
And Villese still doesn't have Arbalest yet. His eco's just not there.
Also, ACCM has enough to keep putting down castles. Good snipe for Villese on the left. On that stone that ACCM was on, he's going to clear that up. Grab another relic from the side.
Oh, and he also is going to
ACCM
spot this castle that ACCM has just placed on the left. And Bombard Cannon could be so useful right now for ACCM. This is going to be a crazy base trade, dude. Neither player should stop pushing, but both players have to do what they can to hold on for as long as possible with their position.
Yep.
Oh, and the Axemen have to leave. The Axemen are going home. I think this is a mistake for ACCM. He needs to protect those trebuchets.
I feel like he needs to push with the Axemen, protect the Trebs, and then once the Arbs get pulled away from there, he can maybe kill the Trebs with Light Cav. But he's going in with the Axemen over on that side. Meanwhile, on the other side, he's trying to repair his Trebs, trying to defend against the Halbs.
Oh, man, he pulled himself out of position. Yeah, exactly. And if Villese holds this hill, which he will not, it'd be so good for him. But still, he's taking out the Trebs. And look, the Axemen got completely wiped up because there's Arbalest on the left side. That was a mistake. You have to do something else on the left to defend there if you're ACCM, not leave your trebuchets.
Well, he lost 2. He still has 2 alive at the moment, repairing them. Trying to take out these Arbalists. Axemen, some of them are still alive. They're baiting the Helms back into the castle fire. ACCM only has 2 castles now. He can afford a third, and he's going for Cavalier.
Oh, man. Got 3 Rangers producing. More upgrades coming in now for the barracks units. Cavalier, Dave, I mean, it's so expensive, right? And the Halbs are such an easy thing for Villese to get to.
Chain barding armor denied in that blacksmith.
Rip. And he invested so much, and he has 15 Axemen. That's it. He lost 15 or 20 Axemen on the left. Didn't take out a single Treb. And when he left his Trebs, he lost 3 of them. You could tell Villese knows he's in a good spot because he just rebuilt a castle on the same hill as before. I don't think that Villese is going to lose this castle. I think the Trebs are going to have to pack up. And if you have to pack those Trebs up and back up into your base, you might be conceding the game here. Because the left side of your eco is a disaster.
Dude, all the little things happening here, like the research is getting denied, means that the Light Cav aren't going to do as much. The Cavalier switch being late.
Yep.
More Axemen now in the queue. 19 Axemen in the queue, but only 5 on the field. As the Arbalest switch was super early for Villese. Super predictable, and I'm surprised that ACCM made as many Axemen as he did.
Yeah, it's tricky. I think the faster Imperial Age from Villese, the Treb number, and just the timing of the push and the positioning of it, everything's been so perfect to make ACCM make mistakes.
Is that
ACCM's still in this. That is Catapuruto.
Dude, it is. Oh, this is going to be very annoying for ACCM. Treb's unpacking almost instantaneously. And packing up again.
He's popped, man. Villese is at 200 pop. He hasn't really needed mobility this entire game. It doesn't matter to him. The Axemen aren't looking good enough. Bombard Cannon's maybe the only answer, and now Cavalier's like the desperation play, I guess, from ACCM. But he doesn't even have a single knight at the moment.
I mean, he is getting the final armor upgrade if that blacksmith survives, and he does have a lot of gold in the bank. 66 farmers.
The Arbs just ran right in there and sniped 2 Bombard Cannons, Dave.
2 Bombard Cannons. Yeah.
Wow. And now he can just pack up the Trebs.
Axemen, if they're within range, though, can kill the Arbalists, and they are doing it right now.
Yeah.
Trebs are instantly packing up and running away. ACCM going for another castle. He's not giving up, but there's another Arbalest army. Oh, boy. In the north. Oh, God.
If he stops right now, it's denied.
Oh, God.
Yep, that won't go up.
If it does, though, the Arbalists need to be careful. Yeah, it's not going up.
Oh, that's so painful. The Trebs are going down for Villese on the left side. Axemen number is higher than it has been in a long time. It's at 20. The resources look good for ACCM, but...
Oh, this Arbalest army, bro. There's 40 villagers back there. Oh, no, no, no. Oh, no.
Can you imagine, though? I know that there would be downsides to it, but Oninger would be really helpful in moments like this.
Yes,
but you just never do it. It just never feels like it's something you should do as the Franks when you have the other options.
ACCM has just lost about 40 villagers in the last 2 minutes.
Yeah, and now he's going to lose his other positions as we have Halbs and Arbs from Villese. Even getting Guard Tower now, Illumination,
God.
Theocracy. This is sick. Villese, like, ACCM is playing amazing Age of Empires. But Villese is just that much better.
I think like the stubbornness to stay with the Axeman there early was what killed him. He should know that Villese is going into Arbalest, and as soon as he sees the crossbow, I think he should just tech into Cavalier of his own and make sure he gets all the techs upgraded.
Yeah. I also wouldn't have mind like enough Axemen just to hold off until you get hand cannons, because hand cannons is something you get access to, and you can produce out of ranges, and you don't need the castles. I think
He is killing the Arbalest at the back, and he is killing the Arbalest at the front as well. Got that castle up, and he might take out the castle from Villese, but I mean, his farming eco.
he's got
It has just
68
been
bills.
completely destroyed.
He has no villagers. There's guard tower on the left. Villese has full map vision now, so he's just tracking to see if any eco has been expanded by ACCM. Now Redemption's coming in to convert bomber cannons that aren't even out there, and ACCM has 0 on gold. Dang, impressive.
It's done.
But, you know, just like a final thought on this. So, you know, Paladin Axeman has been something that people have done for years. But there's also been 3, or maybe it was 4, hand cannon buffs over the last 2 years. So I think it's another reason to maybe forget about the Axeman, those buffs. Because it's, I believe they're cheaper, they have more HP now, and I think the accuracy's up too.
But the Axeman looks so cool, though.
They do look cool. And like the CBA player in me wants to say screw hand cannons, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
I love Axeman.
But if you think about, like, how many hand cannons can you afford after getting all of the infantry upgrades, bearded axe, and elite throwing axemen?
Yeah.
You can afford an entire army of hand cannons, right?
Yeah.
And the only tech you need is chemistry for that, as ACCM calls the GG. Really well played from Villese. I think the timing on the crossbow switch, especially the timing going up to Imp, really impressive for him.
Yeah.
ACCM just hard committing on Axeman, and it kind of cost him a little bit.
Well, I think that's also, I think the Imp timing was the biggest deal here, right? ACCM was forced to commit to something before chemistry because you have to get to Imp, then you need 90 seconds for chemistry. He felt like the play was Axeman. Again, I'm just so impressed, though, how Villese came in here with a civilization that a majority of other players wouldn't pick because it's so much easier to go for like Magyars, Berbers, Franks, and he dominated. And the fact that he was open and didn't have walls all of Castle Age against that many knights didn't matter. The fact that he didn't really pressure that much with knights at all didn't matter. He's just a beast, dude. There's just not many players who can play like him. And ACCM, who's playing very well, is down 2 games. It's like,
There's
come on.
nothing more infuriating than losing your first stock villager.
It's
Especially
game
when
over.
the dock is at like 50%.
Yeah.
It's the worst. I'd rather lose 2 vills to a boar than that happen.
And it has more of an effect than losing 2 villagers to a boar, I think.
Exactly.
So yeah, I mean, you know, I mentioned it to the devs. There shouldn't be wolves on dockable maps. It happened in the past. It was on 4 Lakes, and they removed it. And it looks like, whoa, what is this? Okay, this is what I meant. What is this TC position for Villese? This is insane.
He doesn't have to walk, dude. He doesn't have to walk at all. Oh my god. What is that?
I don't know if this is intended or not, but wow. Okay, we have a lot to break down here. So game 3, Villese playing as the Malay, and then we have Byzantines for ACCM, and this is Scandinavia, which typically spawns you kind of where ACCM is, and then you have somewhere along the lines of where this relic is for Villese.
Yeah.
But he's on the water, like straight up on the water. Not to mention his main gold is on the water.
And his deer are in a pretty safe location, whereas ACCM's deer are pretty far forward. I don't know.
This is.
I mean, I guess ACCM has more safe woodlines than Villese, but that's the only thing I can.
Let me
really
put it to you this
consider
way. This is not going to be an admin re, but if I were Memb, I'd be sending a message to my map guy after this game and being like, "Hey, we got to take a look at that."
Yeah, this is something.
I mean, I'm cool with it from an entertainment standpoint. It's awesome, and also I'm really happy that the winning player has the awkward map gen. I'm just excited to see if they're ever going to find each other here. Like, my God.
Oh, ACCM with just. I mean, I guess there's deep fish nearby, but he had to pick that one spot for a dock. Kind of annoying with that island in between. He is getting his dock up at a similar time to Villese, though, and now they're taking the scout engagement. Looks like ACCM is a little bit ahead in that one.
It looks 50-50 to me.
I think he's gonna win.
So it's going to go
ACCM's
to Villese.
Ooh,
It's definitely Villese. Oh,
nope.
is he going to guard
Nope.
himself and go back and fight? Because that apparently
It
makes a
doesn't work.
difference.
Doesn't work.
Yeah, I didn't think it worked either. I tested
Bro,
it a bunch. I think
listen,
it's a trap.
dude. I've been trying that for like 8 years. Trust me.
So you think it was just a scenario editor thing?
No, it is a thing. It is a thing if your unit one shots. But if your unit is attacking multiple times, it's so hard to get consistent.
Gotcha.
So hard to get consistent.
All right. Well,
Like if you're in an RPG scenario and your unit has 200 damage and there's 200 enemies around you, you want to guard it, basically.
I see. Yeah.
But in a scout war, it rarely
Dude,
works. And
life
now
is not
Ace is
fair.
gonna run in here because how
Why
would
would you
ever
expect it?
an opponent to have a TC here?
Yeah,
Why
it's-
would you ever expect that?
So it actually benefited Villese in that way because he's in the awkward spot and his opponent's not. So I feel really bad for ACCM that he's lost his scout now because that's such a big deal. But at least he can assume that his opponent has docked this side now, and he already has a dock there. Whereas Villese, I mean, he's going to have some confusion in that regard. But if I were him, I would definitely check the side that you've already docked before heading to Feudal.
So, saying all of this about a rigged map and whatnot, sometimes there is unexpected results of a map generation like this. Like we think it's super OP for the start, but maybe if they get later on in the game, it's going to be a lot easier for ACCM to expand.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like there's always an up and a down. And
Yeah.
I mentioned the woodlines before being an issue. They could be an issue here as now the dock from ACCM is discovered from Villese.
All right, so this is obviously something that would be kind of stupid to do. But after that scout engagement where both scouts were on 9 HP, if ACCM would have deleted all of his palisade walls there, Villese might have just passed that and not double-checked because he didn't see the dock, he just saw the palisade.
ACCM can't put the dock yet. Okay.
Yeah, again, the scout's weak, should be fine. But we're going to have double dock for both. Melee, of course, have crazy dock vision. They actually have so much dock vision that that circle would continue off the map. And, all right.
Also, if ACCM takes control of water, that gold is going to be really awkward for Villese.
Yeah.
Does have another gold on the other side he can go to, but he's kind of penned in against the water, and this is kind of a must-win water situation for Villese, because if he loses that control, TC, I think, can be ranged by war galleys. I think.
Galley opening.
Gold can be ranged, and fire galleys for ACCM, galleys for Villese. Bit risky, but I guess he will have tons of villagers nearby if he wants to repair his ships.
Okay. I gotta love how ACCM's walling. Like, they're walling using the same wood line.
Yeah.
Which is great. And both players have to adapt. And ACCM's also going to aim to wall towards that wood line there. Big thing here, I think, is will Villese scout the golds? Also, he could steal the pigs, honestly. There's no vills around. But if he scouts the main gold.
One arrow at a time. Boff.
And he doesn't see the main gold, Dave. But he does see the hunt. And great call from ACCM to take the back gold in the first place, just in case there's any type of rush.
Yeah.
What do you think of the galley opening from Villese
I
here?
don't, like, he saw the dock from ACCM. This is very, like, he's trusting his micro a lot. All it takes is a couple slip-ups here to lose some galleys, and you're against Byzantine fire galley, too. Very, very dangerous.
I agree with you. I'm not a big fan. Also, not a big fan of the Japanese pick on the previous map that he dominated with, right? And so we're seeing him try and keep his ships alive. He did take out one, but I think it's this next wave that you just straight up cannot deal with. And you have to put so much extra focus into micro if you're Villese.
The thing with galleys is as soon as you get fire galleys in front of your docks, that's minus 20 HP every single time a galley comes out.
Yep.
And your fishing ships are under threat. Like, you're losing so much here, and there's more galley or fire galleys on the way from ACCM. You can't out repair this damage either, although that galley just sneaks around the ice and says, see you later, loser.
The thing is, this would, in my view, also be a questionable move if you weren't against Byzantines. It was just a regular civilization.
2 villagers dying. Wow.
I guess what it can give you is the potential to completely win water, but I'm loving the position right now for ACCM.
It's going to take a galley here, maybe. Does not. Pulls it back to repair. And ACCM goes for another dock in the north.
I like that.
Villese, because he spawned so close to this this water, it's going to take him years to get over to that other side. I don't even think he's going to bother doing it.
It's not really something you can ever contest.
We're already seeing consequences of him spawning against this water, right? ACCM has way more map control. Villese forced to go galleys here, or forced to invest a lot on the water.
Is Malay obviously advances faster to the next stage, and I love how Villese is on the hunt already. It's a risky spot to be, but everything's over here, so why not? He's trying his best to group these galleys up, and I'm continually impressed with this guy. He's actually making this work. This is crazy. It should be so much easier for ACCM.
Feels like he's one misclick away, though, from it not working. It takes so much confidence to do. He's got a decent number of galleys now, and he's mixing in demos as well. ACCM also mixing in demos in case the galleys get too close to the dock. He could kill 3 ships, I think, with one demo raft here.
A big positive here for ACCM is that he was going to run out of fish anyways. So he's just got 200 food there left on that tuna, and then he would have been pretty much out of it. But the negative, obviously, is you can't contest the Malay player's fish. And if Malay have fishing ships and they run out of fish, that's no problem for them because they can go for the fish
Demo raft, YOLO demo raft. It's coming in, it's coming in, it's coming in. Boom!
Oh, that was perfect.
Yikes.
Yeah, the water is pretty much lost for ACCM here. Obviously, still has fish on the other side and does have a demo that I'm sure he's waiting to
demo
use.
And a fire galley. Demo and a fire galley. ACCM is going to micro down that demo. You go and look for the hunt villagers, I think, with this demo. And they... Oh, he might get him. He might get 3. He might get 3 here, Tristan.
Nah, you
might
want
get
the
2.
fish.
Might get 1.
You want the fish.
You
Might
want a
get 3,
villager,
might get
bro.
4, might get 12.
Might
Dude,
get 1.
He could get all the fish. They're grouped up perfectly. Oh my god. Please.
Fishy, 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 fishy.
No! Okay, it's still good. It's still really good.
Bro.
He kills 2. And he might be able to kill another one here, so they're going to trade fish losses.
He could have got 4 vills with that demo raft.
He could have. He could have got 4 fishing ships.
Yeah, well,
coulda, woulda, shoulda.
Vills are better than fishing ships, dude. He did kill 2 villagers and multiple fishing ships with his fire galleys and forced Villese into a lot of navy on this side, even coming forward with another fire galley.
So something that...
Can just...
Sorry to interrupt you. Something that Villese continues to do so well is his transitions. Look at how much hunt he has left. He's got 40 food. Look at how much hunt ACCM has left. ACCM was so focused on the micro, even when micro should be easier for you with fires, that he just didn't get to the hunt in time.
Yep,
so,
and it's 3TC Villese once again.
Wow. Like you said, it's just like, it is predictable, but can you stop it with this guy? He's going to transition into farms as well. Only thing I like to see from him, though, is scouting that right side. I understand it takes you a long time to get over there, but your opponent having the possibility of having like 10, 15 fishing ships freely fishing on the other side is a little too strong at times. Still water production
really has to
for
respect
ACCM.
those flags on the docks. Byzantine docks, more HP, harder to take down. If he ever gets the war galley upgrade, they can take out these galleys in a flash. If Villese doesn't pay attention here, he could take out galley numbers, and once he loses galley numbers, like he might be right now, he could be in trouble.
That town center on stone is both the most inviting thing for ACCM, but also the most worrying thing for ACCM, because that's intentional. And that's not positioned so you can easily take wood and stone and switch villagers back and forth. That's positioned so you take only stone so you can drop a castle. And man, that faster castle just done so much for the Vill count for Villese. It's now got 44. It'll be 50 by the time it's 44 for ACCM.
I don't know how much damage these archers are going to do for ACCM. He just got fletching. He's only got 4.
Yep.
He'll need to go for war galley upgrade here. Hopefully on the dock on the other side.
God,
and maybe even think about...
Drop? I think it was a drop.
That was a drop. There was no war galley. That was a drop, 100%.
His resources were also climbing, and I was wondering why he wasn't spending them.
Yeah.
So they'll probably have to restore it around like 17 minutes or 17:30 or something.
Okay, here we are back in the game, and we're basically back at around the same time. ACCM 20 seconds away from Castle Age.
4 archers is not going to accomplish too much. So he wasn't producing anything there. And what ACCM was able to see was he was... Oh, actually, he wasn't able to see the TC. I was wrong. I thought he passed that town center from Villese.
War galley upgrade is coming in the north. Dock is being worked on here from Villese. He's hiding all of his fire galleys over there, but Villese is going to hunt this down.
That's so
now,
good.
ACCM could ungarrison the demo and the fire galley and try and take out the galleys from Villese. A lot of them are weak, but I think he's waiting for that war galley upgrade to come in. 20 seconds now.
He's being as patient as possible. Obviously, really hard to do other things. He does drop a TC, and now his archers hit the houses. But war galley upgrade's going to come in, Dave. He's going to have 3 or 4 ships on this side. And there's the demo. Demo does land.
Demo's
and then
good.
he's got 3 fires. That's really well played.
Now, Villese needs to invest more into this side. Maybe even get war galley upgrade himself, which he can't afford currently. He does have a mangonel coming out, and it looks like the mangonel has killed the archers. ACCM adding more fish in the north, too.
Love
he continues to push Villese back.
Love the defense there from Villese as well, as he killed the archers. And now he's going to have a demo ready. He's got enough to push these fires back. And the fish to him don't matter anymore. Yes, he's melee, but he's on 3 town centers with farms at this point. That's his food eco. That's what he's relying on. So he does defend the fish that he's wanted to keep a hold of, but I don't think he'll be even be worried even if he loses too much there, as he micros away from it. This game is decided on the forward castle.
Yeah, there's a mangonel now in defense from ACCM. He's going for a monastery, but like you said, that castle up on that hill is going to be so brutal.
I like what ACCM's going to try and do. He's got a villager on the right side, so he wants to redock and add more fish there. That's a great way to come back with the food eco. Let's see how aggressive Villese wants to place this castle. Because he sees the siege workshop, he also sees the siege, and he's just going to place it there. That's a very safe castle.
Yeah, I think that's the best position too. Like, you have this wood line, you're controlling that entire area with that castle. I don't think there's any argument for a forward one. Even though that main gold is there, it's just too congested. It's ugly, you know?
Yep. And you can still continue your push and have moderate success with it. But just to, you know, remind people the gold situation as a fire comes in from ACCM. That gold on the other side of the wood line, the 4-tile gold to the left of ACCM's workshop, that's supposed to be Vilese's. He's got 2 for now, and there is a neutral gold more to the right, but he does not see that neutral gold in the back of his base. We'll see what that leads to in this game. Double monastery, though, from ACCM.
Yep.
I think he might be regretting that now.
Well, he does have 5 villagers queued, so it's a bit of food that he can maybe bank up for Imperial Age. He's got almost enough gold now. It's just about the food. He still has the fishing ships in the north, and he's making some more of those.
It's cheaper to go imp with Byzantines. I think it's a deliberate choice from ACCM to stay on 2 town centers. And the Karambit warriors come in. I'm not sure if monks are the unit you want to go for against Karambits. But the siege. That's very well played there. And actually, the Byzantine healing. Wow.
Bro, it just outdoes the day. I think you could have that all day. A Karambit attacking a monk and another monk healing it. I don't think that monk ever dies.
I like how Villese cancels the Karambits and is like, yep, that was a bad idea. Yep. We're not going to do any more of that. Let's save our food for him.
ACCM is going to go up soon, I think.
And the fishing ships on the other side.
That should be the play, right? Also, is still queuing up some fires from that dock, although he's been housed for a while. So he still is providing a little bit of a threat over there.
Yeah, I just don't know what he does with his faster imp, I guess. Like, if he clicks up, I guess he clicks up to imp, and then he can buy the rest of the stone for a castle to go into a treb board. That would probably be the play.
Maybe.
Actually, I think both players should idle their TCs right now.
Goes for another TC, ACCM. Okay. Interesting.
Like how Villese is spreading out and scouting. Got villagers running around. He's got monks going to get the relics. Obviously, he doesn't want to use them as part of the push anymore. Again,
here comes the fire ships from ACCM. Still being annoying, and another one on the way.
Yeah. I think the most important thing about the water here is just the fact that there's gold there for Villese.
Yep.
Villese is forced to defend this water simply because his gold will be ranged by a galley otherwise.
Also, if ACCM wins this in Imperial Age, kills all the docks, he's going to get chemistry anyway. And one cannon guy can range everything. Literally everything.
Oh, that's so annoying.
He's so annoying.
50-50 on water, and okay. That's a clear up. There's another fire, though, and we do have Imp on the way for both. Imp will be in faster for Villese. University is a big building to have here for both. Not seeing it for Villese, but there it is for ACCM. You need to get to bombard cannons here for sure.
ACCM needs to put this castle in more defensive position, like even touching his farms at the back there.
Yep.
I don't think you can put it forward because Villese has that beautiful hill. You kind of want to force his trebs to walk a little bit distance from that castle so you can snipe them down.
Look at this villager repairing the fire for Villese. She's like in the fire. Be one with the fire.
She is the fire.
And clears it up. Still no war galley upgrade, so he continues to fight at a disadvantage there. And still no university. Both civs get bomber cannons, so I'm a little surprised. But oh my god, he's making so many karambits against Byzantines? Is he committing to these things?
I like the castle spot from ACCM. I like it. It's defensive.
Yep. Dude, I would not expect my opponent to go karambits here. I'd expect them to go bomber cannon treb.
He's only seen monks, right? He's only seen monks. He's building the university now to the right. A little bit late, but he will get, presumably, chemistry.
After armor on the Karambit warriors. Dang.
Skirmishers coming out from ACCM, so he's not anticipating karambits at all. And Villese is now coming forward with looks to be an aggressive castle, but he sees ACCM's an imp, and I think he needs to back away from this idea.
Yeah. He wanted to know if there was a castle there, so he could decide on if he could double down on this location. He's going to back up with the castle.
He's got ACCM's entire base surrounded by outposts. He's got great vision on that. The karambits are now coming in. Couple cataphracts could clear this up, but ACCM wants to make trebs from that castle, not cataphracts.
Yeah, and also he made skirms. He didn't really prioritize bracer. I'm still not sure if I love the karambits here underneath the castle.
Well, if you love them, you're going to be sad because they're all dead.
Jeez, dude, it's so bad. What a
the
weird
monks
decision.
survived that too, from the healing speed.
Multiple monks
survived
did.
that.
What a weird decision to not rush chemistry and Trebor here. Maybe he didn't want to do it because he's up against Byzantines? But I think ACCM's in the better position now.
Maybe.
Karambit.
Look at that. Look at that castle placement. Look at what it results in. Results in the Mangonel almost sniping that trebuchet because the trebs need to come forward to range that.
Things are falling apart for Villese. And we said we like the Byzantines. And we like the Byzantines because of their options, right? I thought it would be a build-up to stop the castle, stop the trebs, kind of take this game to a point where the options for Byzantines didn't matter.
Karambit? Bro, he's doubling and tripling down on the Karambit choice against Byzantines, bro. What?
I mean,
on earth?
This is going to be the third time that he's going to try it. The first two times didn't work out, and it was costly both times. I guess ACCM's probably thinking what we're thinking. There's no way this guy's going to continue to go karambits.
What on earth? What on earth?
He does have the hill. He does have bomber cannons now, so he could snipe the trebs and keep his castle up. Obviously, he needs his castle if he wants more karambits.
Okay, Bracer might not complete in that blacksmith.
I think it will.
It's gonna be interesting. More karambits coming in. He's trying to snipe the bombard cannons. The monks are converting the karambits. The monks can heal things up from behind. The karambits are trying to get that treb. They won't even get the treb. Bracer's going to complete in the blacksmith with 400 HP left, and the karambits are just dying like flies.
They're so bad. They're so bad here. It's absolutely not the play. Here come more karambit warriors.
He is losing trebs, though. He is losing trebs. Maybe. Yes, he loses a treb. Karambit's coming in, dying again. I mean, maybe Villese is just trying to capitalize on the fact that he has 70% of the map control right now.
Yeah.
And he's going to try and, like, hold ACCM in there and starve him out. But as soon as this castle goes down from Villese, there's not much to stop the push from ACCM.
Yeah, I guess the question is, will it go down? Like, ACCM doesn't have Arbalest yet. He doesn't have Ballistic, so the crossbows aren't as good as, you know, they could be. And there's only 2 Trebs for ACCM, and there's only 1 Bombard Cannon.
And
so the Karambits are going to do
again.
enough. What in the world are we witnessing here? I mean, they are so cheap, Dave. That's the main thing, is even if they die, they're dirt cheap. And he's had the economy, and he will defend this position. Wow.
And ACCM is going to be pushed back by the Karambits. Once again.
Bombard cannons obviously make a difference. More Karambits on the way. They also produce really fast. There's 25 of them, and now we're seeing the power of the Karambits. And this went from 0 to 100 really freaking quick. Like, this could just be the end of the game.
Yep. ACCM lacking the gold to produce units currently. He's got more crossbows in the queue. Not making any cataphracts to deal with these just yet. He doesn't have the upgrades for the cataphracts, so doesn't want to go into that. Does have enough stone for another castle, but where do you even place that?
Yep.
Just use it to repair your castle, I suppose. And Villese is just holding him in. Karambits, not intended to really counter anything, just intended as a meat shield, as a wave of humanity to back up the siege.
And he loses them all. He loses each wave pretty quickly, but he does enough damage. And wow.
Great stuff. Great stuff from Villese. Great stuff. I think definitely ACCM, if he knew the Karambits were coming, he would have played that a little bit differently. But, I mean, credit to Villese, right? Unorthodox strategy. Works out.
Yep, faster Imperial Age did end up making a difference. I think the castle position was also huge for him. A lot of people would have placed it right on the walls in Castle Age, but Villese knew this is going to the Imperial Age. I want a castle on a hill, and he probably sunk like 1,000 stone into repairing that castle as well. Impressive. Game was obviously very weird. I feel like the map generation made it different, but different in a good way for me. Possibly not for ACCM. Maybe he didn't want that type of game. Probably had a game plan to compete for 2 sides on water, and just ended up committing to the one side there. But I think the main thing, and I mentioned it in mid-game, is Villese's transition into farms was just disgusting. He was on 3 town centers, and he had a better economy than ACCM with food the entire game. 16,000 food versus 10,000 food collected, and that's before you even talk about the golden stone.